Alright guys, so I've got a really rough mold here, extremely rough, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to seal it up real good whenever I get these pieces in here. But the game plan here is I've got this oak gall that used to be one piece. It ended up breaking, and that's how it used to fit together there. But like I said, it broke in half, so I decided to use this opportunity to kind of put them about like this, leave a little space between them, and fill it up with some resin and put some blue mica powder in there and turn what I've seen called dragon egg. They look pretty neat, so I figured I'd give it a try. Now before I glue this bottom on here, I wanted to go ahead and basically I'm going to put a dab of hot glue on there and then just kind of eyeball center like this, and I'll do the other side the same way. And then once those are glued in place where they're not going to move or float or anything like that, then we'll put it here on this base, and I'm going to make sure and use a lot of hot glue to seal up any cracks because I don't want to waste any of this resin. So. Alright, so we've got our mold set up here. We've got our two pieces glued into place and everything. So the resin we're going to be using today is called art resin. I've never messed with resin before, much less this brand, so we're going to see how it works out. But basically we're going to mix this 1-to-1, and I did the math here, so you need the width, the length, and the height of it. And I ended up getting about, it looks like I needed about 18 ounces. Now I do have a little bit of stuff in here to take up some of that space, so I figure what I'm going to do is these cups, they hold 8 ounces. So 8 and 8 is 16. That leaves me 2 ounces less. That should be plenty, and I should be able to get it up to the top here and cover everything with no problem at all. So we're going to do that. And we're also going to be putting in some mica powder. This is the kind that I've got here. I'll be sure and put a link down in the description below of everything that I'm using. And I don't know what this color is called. I guess Cessio, unless that's the brand. I don't know, it's blue. But it's mica powder. So it's non-toxic, cruelty-free. Cool. Let me get some gloves on real quick because I'm sure this is going to get messy. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to mix this 1-to-1, stir it up. It says to stir it for at least 3 minutes. And then once we get it stirred pretty good, we'll go ahead and add some of this mica powder in as well. Alright guys, so as you can see there's a crack right here down through this. I did some research on the type of resin I was using, and apparently you're only supposed to pour, they only recommend pouring an 1/8 inch at a time. So I thought I'd seen some other people use this specific type of resin to do casts before, but maybe they did, you know, a quarter of it, and then, you know what I mean, did a quarter at a time instead of doing it all at once. I could have definitely done half at a time at least, and seen how that worked out. It may have still cracked, I'm not sure, but they recommend only doing an 1/8 inch at a time, which is of course why it overheated and caused these cracks here. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and mix up the smallest amount I can make in these cups, which it looks like about 2 ounces. And what we're going to do is go ahead and pour it down into here and try and fill these cracks up. So hopefully it'll keep this thing all one solid piece, so that way we can turn it. Alright guys, we've let this set here for about 3 days, and so we filled our crack back in, and I let it set for 2 to 3 days after I'd already filled in it also. So I'm hoping that filled it in all through this block here, and I'm hoping there's no more than just that one crack through this, but we're going to find out here in a minute. We're going to go ahead and start taking this apart and see how well this thing stayed together. Alright guys, this is the end of part 1. Be sure and come back and watch part 2 where we actually start turning the dragon egg. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you like this type of content, and we'll see you next time.